Day. Welcome to the greatest podcast in mankind's history. This is the anti-George Carlin podcast. Possibly. I don't know if I'll make this an episode yet. I'm a victim, guys. I'm just a victim. Can't you see that? I've never had so much hate for negative attention ever. And I think I'm going to be talking about Candace Owens because I see a lot of... She does that. She has half-ass victim rhetoric almost every episode. And I did a episode 89 was pretty much on Candace Owens and how it's a really funny podcast. You should check it out if you haven't. It's about Candace Owens and how Tyler Robinson, I believe after listening to Candace Owens' podcast, I think he killed Charlie Kirk just to fuck with Candace. That's what it seems like. It seems like she goes psycho. He went to Dairy Queen. How does he have a full stomach after assassinating my friend? Then he goes to a steakhouse and orders steak medium rare. Tells you this how the steak's cooked and everything. And vegetables. He ate steak and vegetables. How was he hungry after Dairy Queen? It doesn't make sense. It's like a crazy ex-lover. But these people are really hating on me and comics, for this Kill Tony thing. It's true that I have a source in Austin that signed an NDA. This is all true stuff. And that Kill Tony has advertisement and PR firms. Can I observe that? Why? I feel like Candace Owens, dude. Did I break the latest? I did break a lot. You know, I went and interviewed people, veterans, at the biggest meth camp in Pennsylvania. That's pretty awesome. I got to do that. I don't know if my heart would be in the right place. I would go in now and just be mean. They were setting up, this is a real thing. I didn't call them out on this because they were homeless people on meth, dude. They were shooting meth. And I was in their tents and stuff. They set up booby traps. So when the cops come at night, they get like really messed up. That was a real thing at the I should have been like, that's crazy. You guys could hurt like kids walking on this trail. I should have pushed back a lot more than I did. But I was kind of scared too. It was a crazy meth camp. A lot of ex-cons. A lot of some pros, many cons there. So, yeah, that's a real thing right now. Comics are, most of them are like, no, it's kind of funny that you staged that video and you found out about this. This is wild. Why is no one talking about this? And then the other half of the comics go, you wish you were killed. You wish you were on stage. You wish you had the attention. Isn't that true? You just want the attention, don't you? Would they say the same thing about Hitler did? You just want to be on that stage. Ich bin mein Kampf, victory will be ours. That would be insane, right? And yet, Hitler had propaganda. Hitler lied to the masses, had extremely good PR and advertisement agencies. That's totally acceptable to observe that. Why can't you observe a simple phenomenon that Kill Tony has PR and advertisement agencies, and someone that was in the circle believes that there's chat comment bot farms, which would make sense, but that they might be in India. How funny, you know? You cannot. What's up? Big arms, dude. Damn, he's got big arms, dude. I'm jacked. Whatever, dude. I don't even care about being jacked, dude. Mano Chong. Hello. You are the best. That's what's up, though, dude. That is a great analogy. Why is it my fault that I observe that? I'm not doing a PR thing. I would be honest with people. If I had the extra $100,000 laying around, right? I'd be like, hey, thank you. I'll take it. I'll take the hundo. Oh, I look real good. No big deal, dude. It's just how I look, dude. I was born this way. And I was born this way. Pretty sick. So that's the beef right now between Austin, Texas comics and me. Kind of stupid if you ask me. I don't like doing that. I don't like going after comics. That's crazy. In fact, the older I get, the more I'm in stand-up comedy. I'll talk about spirituality in a minute. Yeah, I also did jiu-jitsu. I went to a school in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Believe it or not, I'm from Nazareth. It's a really big wrestling town. Actually, surprisingly, it's a small town, but it's really good at wrestling. And I still do it today. So. Not much, but I used to. So where was I at here? So we'll get into some spirituality stuff because it is Sunday, and this is the thing. This is a fun phenomenon I really did observe in Austin. Everyone was trying to mimic comedians that were successful, which isn't a bad move, to be honest. Like, I'm not hating on that whatsoever. You have to have something to aim for. You know, Jesus is the all time. Like, how could you ever, dude? You know, Jesus is out there performing miracles in flip-flops. I thought he was wearing flip-flops for real, guys. I thought Jesus wore flip-flops my whole life until I actually read the Bible. And in Matthew, doesn't say anything about Jesus's apparel, dude. Jesus wasn't a trendy asshole. It's just not a thing. He wore flip-flops. So it would be funny though, like you're back in the day, there's a trouble afoot. Jesus shows up on the scene, dude. Miracles performed. Day is saved. Jesus Christ is king. He's jacked, dude. Jesus was jacked. That's a fact. So some guy turns to you and goes, you know he did that in flip-flops. That guy, he's a bobblehead, dude. You know he did that in flip-flops. It sounds cooler, man. It sounds cooler if Jesus wore the flops. It does. It sounds better, dude. He's out there performing miracles in flops. No way, dude. Jesus is the man, dude. I can't believe it, dude. Kill Tony. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Jesus wore flip-flops. Can you believe this? He does this bobblehead too, dude. It's something about those guys. Oh, I love Asia countries, by the way. I'm gonna keep it real for one second. I'm gonna keep it real for 1 second, dog. Yeah, hopefully, can you guys see the chat, or is that only me? I'm keeping it real, dog. I'm 100% on me. I'm maxing. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real 2214. Guess what? That's called methamphetamines, dude. I take methamphetamines every day. And I also smash my face in with boat smashing. Texas. Hey, no, I like Texas. The people there are actually cool. That's a reason to not burn the city down. It's the people that come from like all over the country seeking ambitious fame. That's the energy that kind of derails people, because I don't think if you got what you actually wanted in ambitious fame, I don't think you'd be satisfied with it. That's a weird spirituality thing, because you have to kind of believe in what you're doing. And when I say that, like, really believe in it. Do you believe in what you're doing? And for these people that are seeking a selfish, narcissistic, vanity, superficial dream, it is a prison. So when you actually get it, you get what you want, which was a prison from the get-go. He's calling my dream a prison. I'm not trying to do that, but that's kind of what it is. And then you have people that are genuinely in comedy because they love comedy. And you also have people in music that love music. And then you have pop stars, right? You have pop stars. And no one's favorite music, by the way, is pop music. It may be. I'm not trying to hate on people. In fact, though, I would say there's more people with a disdain for like modern day country music, right? This is not country. Where's Merle Haggard, Hank Williams? Where's the good stuff? I don't hear the good stuff. You have people that go, I can't stand pop music. You have more of that, right? Than you do people loving pop music. There was an evolutionary psychology study done that they made a fake band. This is true. They made a fake band with non-melodic music and fake lyrics. But they put like 30 or 40 comments under this new music, and they posted it on this thread. And what happened was an ordinary person would see the comments, listen to the music, it's trash, it's garbage. There's no way anyone can like it. They specifically made the music stink on purpose. But they saw the comments. So ordinary person looks at the comments and then goes, yeah, this is pretty good stuff. Knowing it stinks, and there's an experiment being conducted with scientists controlling, the only variable they controlled was the social contagion part of the music, which was comments. Modern day advertisement companies and PR firms understand this evolutionary psychological trick, and it is a trick. And I'm just saying, you're being coerced in everyday life more than you can possibly imagine. What I really am, and luckily I don't have any sponsors, you're not being duped in any way, but what I am is attention. Eyes will be on me at a venue or a bar, or wherever. And for bigger comics, it's even bigger. Pop stars, it's even bigger. Now you're going to this venue, they're filling up seats, and they're selling beef jerky or BetterHelp, whatever it is, dude. But it's a sneak attack. They're not directly going, we're going to, like a car salesman, they're not coming up to you so you get to hate them instantaneously. You ever go buy a car with your dad or something like that? It is true. That's, by the way, the evolutionary psychology study is real. You guys can look that up. That's a real study that happened in the late 90s and early 2000s. But you almost instantaneously hate the car salesman, right? You know they're trying to get one over on you. But with the comic or the pop stars, it's really glaring now. They secondarily sneak the sales in, dude. It's phenomenal. It really is phenomenal how they pulled this off. And everyone likes, no one likes pop music. And yet we kind of got hoodwinked and accepted that pop music is played wherever we go. And we're just these guinea pigs for them to sell products to. It's crazy in 2026, dude. You gotta be on your toes, man. They'll get you, dude. They will get you. When I was rich, I'm really poor now. Like, genuinely. How many? I weigh 220. In kilograms, I would say, I don't know what that is, 80 kilograms? That's a good question. How big's my penis? You guys are wild, dude. How much I weigh? What do you want to know next, dude? My social security number? What is it, pounds to kilograms? Is it too much on the live stream on a Sunday? Sorry. All right, let's put that in. 220, 99.79 kgs, baby. Almost 100 kilo. I'm almost 100 kilo. You ever hear people in Britain? They are about 30 stone. They're the only country that still uses stone. I think that's so funny for some reason. All right, so we'll get back into you are what you're seeking, guys. I don't mean to get I'll do this without, a religious denomination whatsoever. I'll do this totally secular, but you are what you're seeking. You really are. That's what Jesus taught. That's kind of what in Buddhism, this is the sixth sense. And by the way, you have six senses. Thank you. You have to put it in. It's part of it, dude. You have to feel, or it won't come across good. That's what I've learned, especially live comedy or whatever. You have to feel what you're saying. So this is interesting. In Buddhism, the sixth sense is thinking. What do I mean by that? I mean consciousness. Consciousness itself is the sixth sense. A lot of times you don't really control your thoughts, am I right? Like, you'll respond to life, and sometimes that seems, you get in these weird patterns, and maybe 2 months go by and I just responded. I really didn't react. I was on autopilot. And then other times, like, I consciously was aware I wanted to change, and I made this change, and good, that happens, and more good things will happen. And sometimes you seemingly have weird thoughts. I have weird thoughts all throughout the day. Should I punch this guy in the elevator? I'm thinking this, and I'm like, no, that's crazy. I would never do that. I'm like having internal dialogue. Here's the thing. Is that you? Are you your thoughts? Genuine question. The idea is, in Buddhism, is you're not actually your thoughts. You are so much bigger and deeper than your thoughts. In Buddhism, this is what it is. You are simply the observer of your thoughts. That's why it's a sense. That's fascinating. Because if that's true, if you are observing your thoughts, one, that makes you so cool. You're in a meat vessel, dude, on Earth. And you're deeper than your thoughts. That's wild. But the other thing that's cool is you don't have to attach yourself to thinking. And a lot of times it's trying to map out traumas. Like, I have so many past embarrassing moments. I'll carry those till I die, unless there's an interruption. There's self-pity, which, by the way, is always a case of mistaken identity. You're a 10 out of 10. You came into this world 10 out of 10. You're going to leave a 10 out of 10. Nothing changes in between. God, Buddha, this universe doesn't create garbage. It really doesn't. There's no junk. Your consciousness is sacred regardless. You're a 10 out of 10. You came in this world 10 out of 10. You're going to leave a 10 out of 10. So this idea, if you want to keep following it, about consciousness being sacred in Buddhism or whatever, you get to like advanced Christianity, studying the actual teachings of Jesus, and this is going to blow you away. And this is powerful. I don't think you'll hear this at church. So Paul, in the Bible, was a visionary. So he would have these visions all the time. And he goes, Jesus, I don't know what's actually, I have these visions. I can't make heads or tails of it. I don't know what's actually going on. But I'm having these visions. We don't need dietary restrictions. We can eat pork if we wanted to, dude. And Jesus, you think Jesus was all like, well, I specifically I only wanted to wear flip-flops and headphones, dude. Look at my head. Do you think he said something wild like that, dude? You gotta wear a hat. You gotta wear a hat. No, dude. By the way, Christianity is one of the only religions you don't need the hat, besides the goofy Pope hat. But JC, no hat. You ever notice that? JC doesn't rock a hat. Probably because his long, luscious locks. That's speculation. But no hats. And I dig it, dude. JC is the man. He's not a trendy asshole, like I'm saying. So Jesus replies to Paul, right? About their dietary restrictions. He's having visions, which is huge. Back in the day, dude, that was Jewish law, dude. You couldn't eat pork. That's that, right? Shabbat shalom. So Jesus responds, and this is life-changing stuff. It doesn't matter what you eat. It matters what you think. Mic drop, dude. Jesus has Matthew's full of mic drops, dude. And not one section explaining the apparel Jesus wore. You think Jesus was trendy like that? No, dude. He wore everyday shit. Whatever they were rocking back then, dude. He was rocking. He's not special, dude. He is special. But he wouldn't tell you that he's special. I need to wear flip-flops from here on out. He would never do that, dude. Yet people are so insane that they try and pin him to flip-flops, dude. Get out of town, dude. Get out of here. I don't believe that. So it doesn't matter what you eat. It matters what you think. That's powerful. That's Jesus' whole thing, dude. You are the answer. It's within you. It's within me? No way, dude. That's the last place I'd ever look. I always looked externally, everywhere. I thought the answer would be there, or a girlfriend, or drugs, or money, or chasing jobs, or whatever, dude. It's within me the whole time. Yeah, it is. Phenomenal. Jesus knew that. He's like, dude, it's within you, dude. You are the answer. Why are you tripping again? Because you're special. You're a 10 out of 10. You came to this world 10 out of 10. You're going to leave 10 out of 10. Nothing changes, dude, throughout the trials and tribulations. Yeah, what is it? Oh, yo, Elvis. Wow, Jamie. You guys make me laugh, dude. Jamie, a turd pencil, New York City. Wow. Elvis is a phenomenal example of this. So I'm not sure how much people know about Elvis, but I know quite a bit. Probably not more than you guys, but Elvis was one of the first pop stars to hire actresses to faint. Oh, he's just so beautiful in that white suit. Seeing this, ain't nothing but a hound dog. He does this, dude. How sexy is that? He's just cranking his hips on stage. He ain't nothing but a hound. And if girls would faint, dude, women would faint at the, ah! They would faint, they would fall over. Why? Social contagion. That spreads to other women. Now women are really fainting. Are they really fainting, though? That's my question about the Kill Tony thing. Do people really like it? Or are they coerced into liking a show that stinks and it's exploitative to open micers? They only get paid. And a lot of comics are mentally ill, and they're seeking ambitious fame. he could have possibly derailed some of the best would-be comics, because sometimes it does take 5 years to even get your footing. It shouldn't. In a perfect world, you would have people very supportive, because that's how good comedy, dude, is not like a hostile environment. You want a very comfortable environment, not three comics roasting. They roasted his ass, dude. Anyways, I don't want to harp on that. I all love to Tony. I get along with him. I'm just saying, dude. Can't I observe that? Can't I observe a natural phenomenon, dude? Is that not allowed? So, Elvis, what a phenomenal example. That's one of the best in history, actually. To look at how powerful PR and advertisement is on a pop star or music. A very good example. You guys are smart, dude. I wish I thought of that, to be honest now. I mean, I used to have an Elvis bit, but I kind of since retired it. I can bring it back now that I've been doing Elvis impersonations on the weekend. As I would say that, and I would do this crazy song. Let me think, dude. I'll play a song. All right. Actually, I don't know if it'll come in well. So. I am recording new music. You guys can go check out my Spotify, by the way. That would really help. I just put my entire catalog of music on Spotify. So go check that out. Ross and Nazareth on Spotify. You'll have an awesome time because it's literally all my music for free. You can find it on Spotify. Excuse me. A little bit sick. The music is kick butt, dude. It's not pop music. You'll actually like it. I guarantee you. Like, I have yet to have people go like, nah, it's not for me, dude. Everyone across the board likes it. Or at least a couple songs you'll find enjoyable, palatable, and funny, which is hard to do. So I'll give you some inside information, because the first album I did, I Am Your Comedian album, I didn't want to just go full steam ahead on jokes. I wanted to actually write good, catchy, melodic music that doesn't stink with great lyrics, because anyone can write the silly songs. I can always do that moving ahead. But to show people that, wait, he can jam, dude. He's actually a pretty good songwriter. You only have one shot to do that. That's what we thought. And it's true. Looking back, that was the right move. Do a kick butt album the first time. And then from there on out, you can do silly songs. You can write whatever you want. I have a song about school shootings called Trigger Warning. You know, I don't know if I could have put that on the first album. People go, this is too much. And it's like not political. It's like, I try not to do that, but I have a couple. The Empire Strikes with Tax. That one's kind of wild. It's about Trump and stuff. Whatever, man. The politics stuff has got to go. Hey, could you imagine being in Minneapolis? I have a true story about this stuff, but could you imagine being in Minneapolis and caring about politics that much that you're punching people, destroying hotels? I did that back in the day. Anarchism, punk rock. You can throw a brick through a window and go, that's punk. You can't do that, throw a brick through a window and go, that's jazz. That's a Fat Mike joke from NoFX. But it makes a very valid point. These people in Minneapolis, wouldn't you feel ashamed of yourself to throw a brick through a window and go, that's the Democratic Party? What, dude? That's for Kamala. What are you talking about, dude? Well, we highly value Biden's presidency and the Democratic Party. Here's another brick. How do you like that, Ice? It's just an excuse for destruction and crime, right? Let's call it what it is. I couldn't even put myself in their shoes. Seriously. Throw a brick through, that's the Democratic Party. It's so insane. And then people are getting shot in these poor... You know, I worked in military settings for a very long time. I was stationed at China Lake, Weapons 4 facility in the middle of nowhere. Vandenberg Air Force Base, worked for Elon Musk, NASA, different various Army bases, Air Force bases, naval bases. These are average, ordinary men, dude. There's nothing like. A lot of them are actually kind of like low IQ. Like the Air Force, I feel is smarter. Like I feel like the Air Force has smarter people for some reason. That's just my experience. But Army and Navy, a little bit on the dumb side. And I support the veterans for real. But I'm just highlighting the point. These are not like Captain Americas. Not every. So they're like normal people. They will break. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you have like these crazy organized protests and you're doing that to these ICE agents, they're just normal people like you and I. They're gonna break, and maybe you're gonna cause a lot more hurt, harm, destruction, possibly death. God forbid, dude. And more people have to die out there. It's just sick, dude. It's our own country. I don't understand it. And they're trying to make this, and you guys probably know more than I do. They're trying to do like, the thing in, I think it was called Chaz, where it was like a federal free zone. They're trying to replicate that. And if that catches hold and then other cities do that, now we have like a real civil war like that movie. What kind of American are you? He's saying it to like an Asian. He shoots him. Crazy. It's a crazy movie. I didn't like the movie whatsoever. If you haven't seen the movie Civil War, it's about this news reporter that's going throughout the country observing this crazy civil war that doesn't make a lick of sense. It really doesn't. We're almost at 30 minutes already. You guys loving this live stream? Let me hear ya. Too much, dude. Too much, Ross and Nazareth. All right, again, go check out my Spotify. All my music's on there. You can go on YouTube Music and stuff like that. Some of this stuff does have 60,000 streams. One of them has almost 1 million. Bite Me Taylor Swift. Oh, that's on YouTube though, not on Spotify. Let's get the numbers on Spotify up. Can we do that? I'm not trying to coerce you guys. I'm not. If you want to listen to good music that's not mainstream pop music, and I don't have a label, I don't have sponsored by BetterHelp. You ever need BetterHelp? A psychologist you can call. No, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I want to be your friends. Get you into free shows. Meet cool people. That's what I'm about, really, is making connections. I'm not trying to sell you on, hello. Oh my God, I misread that so bad. You guys have the coolest names, man. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I don't know when people jump into the live streams, I don't know where they start. So anyways, if you want to, I'll recap real quick. We talked about Kill Tony and this evolutionary psychology study about PR and advertisement and how powerful comments. Good morning, 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 good morning. Too much, good morning, good morning. You're commenting too much. That's breaking my brain. You are not being mind controlled. You are not being mind controlled. You are not being mind controlled on the Ross Nazareth anti-George Carlin podcast. You are not being brainwashed. You are not being mind controlled. You're not being mind controlled. Good morning, 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 good morning. You're blowing up the chat, dude. So recap, Devilish. I'm not an app, dude. Am I an application? I gotta check if I'm an app. I am an app. What can I help you with? So recap of this podcast today. Live stream, doing it live, baby. We're gonna do it live. We are doing it. We're doing it live. Evolutionary psychology study. Kill Tony. I talked about spirituality. I talked about overcoming negative emotions. I'm talking about Jesus's real teachings. I talked about Buddhism's real teachings. I talked about the sixth sense, which is thinking. You should go back. I think it's around 10 minutes or something like that. This is all the stuff that we covered. This is the greatest podcast in mankind's history, and we're doing it live, dude. And we get to share. It is actually fun bouncing this stuff. You guys are so funny, man. You guys are cool. So, hi, Xavion-S7VFF_X_per Pert. Chaz, very cool comments. Chaz 2006. Chaz at Chaz 2006. Chaz, you guys can read these comments. I'm guessing. If you can't, put that in the chat now. I want to get the chat up. Yeah, and then the Elvis who mentioned about the Elvis. Big shout out today to. I can't, dude. I'm gonna say it though. All right, at Jamie Turd Pencil NYC. Very helpful to the flow of this podcast, and I thought that was a very astute, intelligent observation of an example of how the first PR and marketing teams utilized it in real time and how they duped the population, especially agreeable women. That was a very good example. One of the best. Thank you. I am the best in the world. No big deal, guys. I'm a big fan of you too. FF_X_Pert. Oh, no way. Shout out to our friends in India. You guys are cool. You have a lot of history there that the United States is not interested sometimes, but it's very fascinating stuff. And then if you go into British history, it gets even weirder, dude, with the East India Trading Company. And India is a wild place. And you have tigers that literally kill, I think it's dozens of people a year. You guys are defending tigers out there, man. We couldn't hack that. Americans can't hack a tiger. We'd shoot them, hopefully. But they're quick and stealthy. Americans were the one that was a pet. Remember the Tiger King, dude? Or is that his name? Yeah, the Tiger King. He gets eaten almost instantly. All right. Love you too. Gotta get